Every culture that has ever existed has played games.
Forward. Leo Messi! Ridiculous!
Every single one.
Champion! Boom! Goal!
And that's not a coincidence. The obvious reason is that games are fun. And while that may be true, it's a little like saying we eat because it tastes good. At the surface, that may seem like the reason, but that misses something deeper. Games exist across every society, across all of recorded history, and as it turns out, across other species too. Crows have been recorded playing, dolphins, and almost all other mammals. Play seems to be something that life itself seems to gravitate towards when it has the energy to spare. The question is why?
Please help me. Can you give me energy?
In the 1980s, two psychologists, Richard Ryan and Edward Deci, came up with the self-determination theory, proposing that people are driven by a tendency to grow and master challenges. And they argued that human behavior is fundamentally driven by three core needs: competence, the feeling of being effective; autonomy, the feeling of being in control; and lastly, relatedness, the feeling of being connected to others. Games, as it turns out, satisfy all three. They offer clear skill progression. You get better, you feel it, you know it. They are voluntary. No one forces you to play. And lastly, they are social. Even a solo puzzle is something you can bring back and show to your friends.
Yes!
When all three needs are met, something fascinating happens. You no longer play for any external reward or validation, but because the activity itself becomes the point. Demis Hassabis, the founder of DeepMind, one of the pioneering AI research labs on the planet, described a future where artificial intelligence creates an almost infinite amount of simulated worlds to learn from and apply those learnings to the real world.
You could imagine future version creating almost an infinite variety of different simulated environments which the AIs can learn from and interact in, and then translate that to the real world.
What he perfectly described, whether he realized it or not, is what humans have been doing for thousands of years. We create our own little worlds with rules governing them, and then apply what we learn in those games to real life. This aligns with Carl Gross's practice theory of play, which proposes that play acts as a safe environment for both humans and animals to practice their instincts. He pointed out that this is particularly vital for the young as they prepare for adulthood. When a lion cub pounces on its sibling, or a crow slides down a snowy roof, they are participating in locomotor and social play. By stimulating the prefrontal cortex, play builds the impulse and physical resilience needed for survival. Humans do the same. From a toddler's game of tag to role play, we use fun as an evolutionary shortcut to encode complex social and physical skills without the risk of real-world failure. Humans have recorded playing games for over 5,000 years. Go, originally from China 2,500 years ago, was used to train warlords in troop encirclement tactics and mental discipline. Chess came from India around 6 AD, originally as a military simulation to train the ruling class in tactical foresight and army coordination. These weren't frivolous activities. They were sophisticated tools for building the cognitive skills that life demanded, and games have a superpower for learning built into their design: the flow state.
Curry, lovely dribble, puts it up. Oh.
The flow state is a feeling of total immersion, where everything else goes silent, time seems to distort, and it allows for laser-focused attention. This state triggers a powerful neurochemical reaction in the brain that enhances neuroplasticity and acts as almost a learning shortcut, helping you encode new information up to 5 times faster than during distracted practice. This state occurs when the task at hand perfectly matches the person's skill level. And that is something that games seem to be perfectly designed to do. Throughout all of human history, if you wanted a worthy opponent, you needed a human being. Then gradually, that changed.
Game begin.
Like this on diagonal, this runs deep, where inside launching, where...
The story of technology in games is, in one sense, a straightforward one.
Ready?
Solve.
Computers got faster, software got more efficient, ancient games got put online, and the games we built for machines got more and more sophisticated.
Grand Theft Auto.
That's the words on the street right now.
Who's gonna be mad?
In 1997, the reigning world champion, widely regarded as one of the greatest chess players of all time, faced an unusual opponent, a machine.
What are we missing something on the chessboard now that Kasparov sees?
When Garry Kasparov lost, it marked the first time a machine had beat a reigning world champion under standard tournament conditions.
Deep blue, Kasparov, after the move C4, has resigned.
The event captured global attention far beyond just the chess community.
Chess events never get covered like that. It was probably the biggest news coverage for a chess match ever.
The formidable machine, Deep Blue, was designed to outthink human opponents through sheer computational power. Equipped with rules and strategies crafted by grandmasters, Deep Blue embodied the pinnacle of human chess knowledge at the time. Amplified by its ability to calculate countless possibilities with unmatched speed, it was in essence the ultimate human chess player. An extraordinary fusion of centuries of human knowledge combined with modern machine computation. Fast forward to today, and now we take it for granted. Anyone with a smartphone can be the world's best chess player. Nearly 2 decades later, it happened again, with a different game and on a different scale.
아까 사실 제가 하다가 말을 멈춘 게 계산을 했는데 이상하게 알파고가 조금 좋은 것 같아가지고 진짠가 해가지고 믿어지지가 않아가지고 그런데.
Go, the 2,500-year-old Chinese game, was long considered the last refuge of human strategic intuition. With possibilities so vast, greater than the total number of atoms in the observable universe, such that brute computation alone couldn't crack it. Then, in 2016, DeepMind's AlphaGo played the legendary South Korean player Lee Sedol, an 18-time world champion. In a match where both players played moves that will be studied throughout history, AlphaGo ended up winning 4-1.
The computer just came out the victor.
DeepMind put its computer program to the test against one of the brightest minds in the world and won.
After the match, Lee Sedol said something that resonated with the whole world. Even if I become the best player on Earth, there is still an entity that cannot be defeated. A few years later, he retired from professional play. He remains the only player to ever beat AlphaGo. To emphasize just how big of a deal this was, just a year after beating Lee Sedol, AlphaGo took on the reigning champion at the time, China's Ke Jie. To avoid national humiliation, and with growing fears over human obsolescence, China censored the stream nationwide. AlphaGo won the game 3-0. While the match was censored to the public, the loss acted as a massive Sputnik moment for the government, sparking an aggressive strategy to become global AI leaders by 2030. Here's the paradox. In the years since computers became unbeatable at chess, poker, Go, and countless other games, human participations in those games has surged.
We're playing every Call of Duty, but with a little bit of a twist. We're going to be going against veteran bots.
And 110% AI.
YouTube channels, Twitch streams, and TV shows are all responsible for driving a global audience to these games.
The Rook to E3.
I don't know what's going on. I'm just gonna castle it.
Netflix's The Queen's Gambit alone is responsible for causing a huge spike in chess signups worldwide. Technology didn't kill these games. It brought them to a global audience across new generations. Engines became coaches, bots became training partners. The barrier for learning dropped to almost zero.
You are now able to capture a knight and win material after the follow-up trades.
But here's where something changes. The same technology that brought these games to a global audience creates something almost unrecognizable at scale. Gaming as an industry today generates over $200 billion in revenue. That's more than the TV and music industry combined. Mobile gaming alone accounted for almost half of that at $93 billion in 2024. When an activity reaches that kind of commercial success, the question is no longer only, is it fun to play? But rather, how do we keep players spending? And that shift produces a very different kind of game.
$3 million richer, the biggest individual prize victory in competitive gaming history.
Games have always produced a dopamine release. That's why they feel fun in the first place. Progress feels good. Mastery feels good. Connection feels good. The problem now is that game designers have become extraordinarily skilled at manufacturing that feeling without any of the things that used to generate it. And this problem can be particularly seen in the mobile industry. Variable reward schedules, time-limited events, artificial scarcity. These aren't game design. These are casino mechanics brought into games that are nominally free to play. But the same reinforcement principle that makes slot machines addictive has been quietly brought into the games we play on our phones. Like most things, this may not be inherently good or bad, but it definitely shifts the odds. The same underlying principles that can be found in these online games can be found in social media and even news articles. As consumers, we are becoming particularly aware of these influences, especially as we see their negative impacts on our daily lives. During periods of rapid technological change, there seems to be a natural pull in the opposite direction. Vinyl records are making a comeback. Board game cafes are opening in cities around the world. The use of dumb phones and personal notebooks is on the rise. These trends are most noticeable in age groups that are most affected by this rapid digitization. Industry groups know that 18 to 24-year-olds are now the age group most likely to listen to physical formats, such as vinyl, CDs, and cassettes. It appears that with every leap forward in the digital realm, a part of us holds back for something old, something tangible, something slower. That's not to say that technology is inherently bad, or that reaching for the past is inherently good, but it's an interesting pattern to observe. There is a final twist in our story, and once again, it's with DeepMind. You see, earlier models like Deep Blue were trained on all existing human knowledge at the time. Then came AlphaZero.
Traditional chess engines like Stockfish basically consist of a huge database of rules. AlphaZero doesn't have any rules.
Given no human knowledge, just here are the rules, play against yourself, and figure it out. In less than 4 hours, it became the best chess-playing entity on Earth. It rediscovered centuries of human chess knowledge and went beyond that, developing its own unconventional and aggressive playing style that grandmasters call transcendent and intuitive.
Because it had taught itself, it might play the game in a completely different way from the way that we play it. It's like a check on everything that we've taught ourselves as humans since chess was devised, really.
Its discovery of its own unconventional playing style raises a very interesting question. What if creativity isn't a uniquely human trait after all? Now these models are being put into the hands of everyday people. We see an interesting pattern emerge. Chess players are more and more leaning on computer-generated lines to memorize, rather than developing their own intuition. Athletes are deferring to wearables to tell them how their bodies feel. We are slowly incrementally outsourcing the very parts of ourselves that games were there to develop in the first place. Early models were trained to be like us, trained to be human. Today, these same models are teaching us how to live, work, and play. We may be seeing the robotification of humans in real time.
It's like the very ways that AI is being programmed to sound human are actually making real human speech seem artificial.
In the short term, this makes us better, more accurate, more efficient. In the long term, who knows what we might lose. We have established that games are fundamental to our biology and evolution. They train our minds, bind our communities, and create shared rituals across generations. They are, in a very real sense, how we practice being human. Computers have been better than humans at chess for almost 30 years. They're incomprehensibly faster at solving the Rubik's Cube. They beat us at poker. They beat us at video games designed to push the very limits of our strategic intuition. And yet we still play, in greater numbers than ever. Why? Because it was never really about solving the game. It was about the human experience of trying to master it, about what the attempt does to you, the focus it demands, the creativity it allows, the way it puts you and another human being in the same room and asks you both to think.
We are either going to lose to the AI version of me or beat it.
Technology transforms these games. It makes them more accessible, democratizes them, brings them a global audience, but at the same time, it exerts pressure on something essential, the human aspect of playing games, the very intuition that Gross argued we're there to practice in the first place.